Hello everyone, so this is a video on another factorization of identities, a different one, and that's actually the last type and the last part of the syllabus that you will be examined for the first term unified test. Okay, let's start with the positive ones. So I think I'm just gonna go through easy questions for this lesson, and tomorrow will be the more difficult ones. So we're gonna do some straightforward, easy ones. 1A. So before you start, you have to realize that when it's 3 terms and you can change them to a square plus 2ab plus bracket b square, it will turn into an identity that you learned before, a plus b bracket square. Okay, now I'll probably teach you the middle one. You can somehow ignore it, and you can double check with just your calculator. I'll teach you how to do it here. So our goal is to change the first one and the last one to a something square. Sometimes they might rearrange it, so be careful. So the first one is an x squared plus the middle one 12x, and then plus 36 will become 6 squared. So the middle one is supposed to look like 2 times a, which is x, and then b, right? 6. And you can actually double check. 2 times 6 is 12, and with an x there, so that's why it's 12x. So basically, if you separate this into 3 brackets, it will turn to these 3. Now you don't have to write the middle term, and I'm not that strict on this. You can just write 12x. But please try to double check if you have a time. Like 6 times 2 is going to be 12, and that's it. That's how you double check. So next is the positive here will tell you that the middle sign is positive. And then x squared means the first one is an x, and this one over here is b squared. So this one is a 6. So you just write in the bracket x plus 6 squared. So we have another question. This time there is a number next to a letter. So I'm going to use probably black. For 1, you have to change it to a 1 square, bracket 1 square. A lot of you are too lazy to write a bracket, but you have to actually. So this plus sign will tell you that your bracket should have a plus sign in the middle. Then we continue, plus 49y squared. I think you had a lot of practice already from the last kind of identity. Basically, you should know that 49 can be changed to 7 squared. So it's 7y all squared. So what happens is, in this bracket over here, when you change it to the identity, a squared plus 2ab plus b squared will change into a plus b, 7y. And then this one has a square on the bracket. So don't forget this square. So it's quite different from the last one. So before we will go like a plus b, a minus b, right? But this one here, this is a plus b times a plus b. So so basically, this one is a repeated of additions, 1 plus 7y, 1 plus 7y. And then the other one is 1 plus 7y, 1 minus 7y. It's quite different, okay? Don't mix them up. We're going to have a dictation, oh, not really dictation, a quiz on this tomorrow at the end of the lesson. So let's just move on to another type of question where you have to face minus. So for minus, you have to change it to x squared again, and then the middle term is going to be a minus 4x. Then the last one, the b, is going to be 2 squared. So what happens is a is an x, but this time we have a minus, so the middle sign becomes a minus. then we are gonna have 2, okay? So don't forget to change the number into something square and write that something into this bracket. So don't go here writing 4. Okay, that's why it's very important to change it to a square first. Next question. Similar procedure. The 1 becomes 1 square. We have a minus this time. 16y. And then plus. This one we got to change to a bracket square. So 64, if you don't know which number, you can always check. Square root of 64 is 8. So that tells you that 8 square will be 64. And just put a y next to 8. So in this bracket over here, we have 1 minus 8y. And that's it. And how do I double check if the middle one actually makes sense to me? 8 times 2 is 16. 8 times 2 times 1 is 16. So the number here matches the criteria. When you separate it into 2 times 1 times 8y, it's going to add up to 16y. So again, we don't need to separate the middle one. Let's save some time. Usually if you can change the first one to a square and the last one to a square, it's that identity. Usually. Well, it depends. So let's see if we can find some special questions. Okay, nothing special actually. Okay, just in case they rearrange the terms, so I rearrange it like negative 44q plus 4 plus 121q squared. 44 in q, you cannot change it to a square. 44 is not a square number to start with. So what you have to do is rearrange it first. So you can put the 4 in the front and then minus 44q in the middle. So the weird one is always in the middle. And then the last one, 121. 121, you should know it's 11 square, and q square is just q square. So you can change the last one and the first one into a square number. So 4 becomes 2 square. This is a minus 44q. And the last one is going to be 11 square, right? 11q squared. So you want the squares to be at the front and at the back of this identity. If it's okay to mix it up, like you can write this in the middle, but it's going to be confusing for you guys. So I'm scared that you will get confused. So we just write 2 minus 11q, and this one is with a square. So again, very important lesson is the middle sign needs to be the same. You have to be careful with this one. This one is always positive. And then don't forget to add the bracket. Okay, those are the important points for this assignment over here. So that's it for this video. Good luck. I'll see you tomorrow.